Hey everybody, welcome to our all new video with Matt. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cool strawberry planter out of just some scrap pallets. So stick around, I'm going to show you how. Alright guys, so to get started, we just need to have a couple of pallets on hand. I got like 3 or 4 long ones right here, and it doesn't matter if they're long or short. We're just using it for these slats going that way. So you need to remove as many slats as you can without like wearing yourself out, you know. So what I like to do is just take a sawzall with a nice metal long blade, and I just whack them off like that. Some people like to hit them with a hammer, but nah, I'll just go and chop them with a sawzall real fast. So let's move to the next step. Alright guys, so once you've got a couple of slats already cut out, you need to have at least 8 of them to get started. This will be our sides and bottom slats, and you need to go ahead and determine right now how long do you want your boards to be. A lot of people are going to go with the longest possible, which would be the length of the pallet board. Now in this case, these ones are a little longer and they're around almost 5 foot, but I want to make mine about 4 foot wide. So like I said, most people will just go ahead with the exact length of the pallet slat that's already on the pallet. Alright, so for the height boards, guys, you don't want to go too high. You just want it just a little low hang, right? And then we're going to put boards under it to keep it up off of the ground. But what we need for our corners and our side braces is we need 8 boards cut at 16 inches, and use these leftover pieces that you have left over, these shorter ones, and then I got some other scrap pieces that I've just busted off of some pallets. We'll cut them off of those. Just make sure that you have 8 at 16 inches. Alright guys, so next we are going to do our side boards, right? And this will be our width of the box. Now again, that width size will be up to you. You can go anywhere between 14, 18 inches is okay. I'm going to go with 18 inches. So I'm going to have to cut 6 boards at 18 inches. Alright, next you'll need to cut out 4 pieces at 12 inches, guys, and we will use these for the legs. Alright, and for our last cut, guys, you want to cut out 4 boards at 18 inches. This will be our bottom bracket braces. Alright guys, so now we got all of our boards cut that we're going to be using. So we need to just go ahead and make sure everything is cleaned up. For example, this board on the top right there has some little nails from the pallet, and then you got some nails over here. Just go ahead and clean those up, knock them out, cut them off with a grinder or something, and then we'll be ready to start assembling the frame. Alright, so the next step we want to do, guys, is take 2 of our long side boards just like that. You want to lay them flat on the ground, and then you want to take 2 of our height boards that we use out of the 8 that we cut, and you want to take it and make sure that it overlaps just like this, and then we can go ahead and shoot some nails into those right there. Alright, so once you get that one all nailed together, go ahead and do the same thing with 2 more long boards and 2 more pieces. Alright guys, so the next thing I want to do is take my tape measure, and I want to pull it from one end to the other. That should be at 16 inches that we cut them. So 8 would be your center mark, right? So what I want to do is just take my pen, pencil, doesn't matter. And on the inside lip right here, guys, not on the outside piece right here, just on the inside, just want to mark it at 8 inches. Just like that. That's going to help us line up the center board when we put our center board in. So now what we need to do is just go around to all 4 corners of both of our side pieces and mark the 8-inch centers in the middle. Alright, so now you got those all marked. So now we need to take 2 more long boards. These are going to be our middle boards. And what you want to do is, now it depends on the width of your board, but mine are 3.5, which would make this 1 3/4 as the middle. So what I did, guys, as you can see right here, is I went to all my boards on both sides of each board, and I marked it at 1 3/4 center. And then what I'm going to do is simply just take a speed square, and I'm going to line it up right there on the board with that line nice and straight. And I'm just going to pop the line down just like that. Keep it nice and straight. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides of my 2 side boards. Just like that. So once we got all of our center lines marked just like that, we can simply just slide them in place underneath. just like this on our main frame, and then you can line that 8-inch mark that you made nice and flat and line it up with your center marks, guys, until you get it nice and centered just like that, and then go ahead and nail those boards down, and you want to repeat that for your other one also. Alright guys, so next thing I want to do now is get my middle brace boards on, and we're just going to keep it simple and not go all crazy with it, guys. But what I want you to do is from one end right here, I want you to pull and measure out about 16 inches. Put your mark there on one bottom part. Then on your top part, do the same thing. Come over and measure out 16 inches. And then you'll take the speed square, get it nice and flat on there. Pop your lines just like that. Alright, so now we will do the same thing on the other side and mark 16. And then what you want to do is just take one of your boards just like that, and you want to put the outside of the board as that line. Alright, so you just line it up with your lines on both of them just like that, and go ahead and nail those boards in place also, guys. And then you repeat that for your other side boards. Alright guys, so this is what you should have going on right now with your two side pieces. So now we need to do the width boards that we have cut. That's the ones we got 6 of. And it's pretty simple to explain. You just want to line it up nice and flush with the other boards just like that. And you can mark some lines if you want to, not necessarily have to, doesn't have to be perfect, but go ahead and nail your 3 boards on the outsides right here, and then you go to the other side of a board and nail your other 3 in place. And then what we'll be able to do is take our piece right here, line it all together and clamp it up if we got to, and then we'll go ahead and nail those boards together. Alright guys, so once we've got our 2 side pieces built in the shape of L's like that, what we need to do now is just take each piece, we'll flip them up like that, you'll bring one in so it's like this, and then bring this one inside so that it's like this. Alright, and then what we're going to do is nail our corners, line it up with our other boards right here nice and straight, and then go ahead and get that all nailed together. Alright, so now that we've got that part built, we need to take our leg boards that we were going to use, the 12-inch boards. You should have 4 of them. And what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to take the edge of one and just line it up with your board just like that. And then go ahead and nail those in place. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side with your other corners, guys. So go ahead and line up your boards. That will be your legs. Alright, so now that we got our 4 corner legs put on, guys, we need to take our 4 bottom braces and we need to go ahead and put those on by simply putting right over top of our boards, and we'll just line those up like that, and then line those up right there, and so on down, and go ahead and nail those into place next. Alright, so now we have all 4 of our bottom braces on, guys. So what we can do now is go ahead and flip it over to its side. And then we need to go ahead and take our last 2 boards, which is our long boards, right? We're going to take our last 2 boards, we're going to lay them right inside of the frame. Alright, we'll put one there. And one in this corner up to this button up against it, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and nail down those boards. Let me show you the inside, what that will look like. So there you can see we laid them into each corner right there, guys. So let's go ahead and get those boards nailed down next. Alright guys, so we've got our piece completely assembled. Let's go ahead and look inside. That's what we just did with the last two long boards, as you can see. So now it's up to you what you want to do. I am going to put some silk screen mesh on there, guys. That way that it can let it drain but still hold the hay and dirt in place and all that. So we're going to go ahead and jump to that now. Alright guys, so the last thing that I want to do is take my little wire mesh screen right here, and like I said, you can use the gauged real thick kind, you can use the thin fabric kind. Doesn't really matter, because what it's really going to do is just allow stuff to drain as it gets rained on outside and all that, guys. So I'm just going to take some little small tack nails and just tack all this cloth into place to the bottom. Doesn't have to be perfect or anything, as you can see. I just kind of folded my edges right there all around, and just going to give it a quick tacking real quick, guys. Alright guys, there we go. It is now complete. All you'll need to do now is get you a mix of hay and soil to put inside of there and to plant your strawberries in, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it helped someone out there. And until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful week. Peace.